And I don't really take it seriously, because, we in the business of boxing. That right there is just, exhibition stuff. But I'm hearing they say it's a...
During Jake Paul's training session, he said that he's built for this and genuinely enjoys the grind, the process, the pressure, and the moment. He makes it clear he's fully locked in and embracing the journey with a focused, hungry mindset.
Built for this. Enjoy the process, enjoy the moment. When it's over, I'm gonna be missing these moments.
145.
Francis Ngannou explains that Nikisa reached out and told him Gervonta Davis was out of the fight and they were looking for a replacement and that they were considering him. Francis says he was genuinely confused and didn't believe it at first, wondering how they could go from Gervonta Davis to him so suddenly. He makes it clear the whole situation felt unexpected and surprising.
Nikisa reached out and then was telling me that Gervonta Davis is having some situation, so he's not going to be in the fight anymore, and they are looking for a replacement. And then they thought about me. I'm like, me? How? And I'm like, yeah, me to fight Jake Paul. I'm like, I was very confused. Like, how come you guys go from Jake Paul from Gervonta Davis to me?
Ngannou also added that at first he had no idea what was happening. The whole situation felt confusing and out of nowhere. Then a few days later, he saw the official Anthony Joshua announcement, and that's when things finally made sense to him. He said he's genuinely curious and excited to see that fight play out.
At first I don't know, it was so confusing. I didn't know what was going on. And then afterward, I see after a couple of days, I saw the AJ announcement. Then I'm like, okay. Then I'm curious to see it. I'm excited to see that fight.
Additionally, Ngannou said he believes AJ wins easily. He even pointed out that plenty of people expect Joshua to score a first-round knockout. But what really interests him is why Jake Paul took this fight in the first place. That's what he's curious about: Jake's strategy, his reasoning, and what he thinks he can actually do against someone like Anthony Joshua.
I think AJ win. I mean, do you think otherwise?
Well, do you think, I think there's a lot of people who think he's going to knock him out in the first round.
Yeah, I would say so. But why exactly Jake Paul took that fight? That's what I'm excited to see.
Yeah.
He suggested that while Jake Paul's choice might seem questionable to outsiders, there's likely a method behind it. He emphasizes that only Jake knows his true reasoning, and it was probably a calculated decision rather than a spontaneous one.
Not foolish, but again, I don't know I don't understand. He's the only one that can know the reason, and I'm sure they thought that through, right? He didn't just wake up out of the blue and decide to pick AJ or me.
Similarly, Deontay Wilder believes that Anthony Joshua would take the win if the fight is genuine, but if the bout is staged or predetermined, the result is already set.
AJ Paul position, I mean, if it's not scripted, I'm going with AJ. If it's scripted, you're going to already know who's going to win.
Appreciate it.
Moving on, Angel Fernandez on Simon Jordan's show says that while the fight is good for exposure and could open doors for other fighters, he personally questions the safety aspect. He hasn't seen Jake Paul in a real fight yet, and facing someone like Anthony Joshua makes it extremely dangerous.
For my personal opinion, I think it's good in terms of for other fighters to maybe fight for better purposes. It brings that exposure to boxing. Personally, in terms of understanding the dangers of the sport, I don't think so, because I haven't seen him in an actual fight yet. And having Anthony Joshua in front of you, I really hope it doesn't go to that end, but it's a very, very dangerous fight.
Angel adds in response to Spencer Oliver that while he hopes for a safe outcome and a payday for both fighters, he's skeptical about Jake Paul's chances. Considering Anthony Joshua's power, size, experience, and understanding of range and positioning, Angel predicts the fight likely won't go beyond 2 rounds.
I think it goes ahead, but I mean, I don't know what Jake Paul is thinking, to be honest, because you're talking about someone that is 2 times heavyweight champion of the world. Is someone that actually have got a one-punch knockout power. He understands range, he understands positioning, he understands how to set you up. He's a bigger man, he's a stronger man. I don't know where, for me, yes, that I'm thinking the worst, but I want to be positive, and I really hope that both of them goes home safe with plenty of money. But looking statistically and the professionalism of the sport, I don't see the fight going past 2 rounds.
However, Simon Jordan relays Eddie Hearn's take on Jake Paul, saying Hearn believes Jake is slightly deluded about the fight. According to Hearn, Jake underestimates what he's walking into, thinks Anthony Joshua is a bit chinny, and genuinely believes he has a chance. Jordan emphasizes that Anthony Joshua's power is unquestionable, and there's no psychological edge for Jake, warning this fight is loaded with risk.
Eddie's views on this is that he genuinely believes that Jake Paul doesn't know what he's walking into, doesn't seem to have a regard for what he's walking into, is slightly deluded about it, thinks that Anthony's a bit chinny, and thinks he has a chance in this fight. Now, I don't know about you boys, but unless you've lived under a stone, you know that Anthony Joshua can punch. The only debate about Anthony Joshua is not the physicality of Anthony Joshua, it's the psychology of him. There's going to be no psychological damage to Anthony Joshua when he walks in against Jake Paul. This has jeopardy written all over it, doesn't it?
Similarly, Derek McKenzie agrees with Simon Jordan that the fight poses risks for the sport. Playing devil's advocate, if something serious happens, it could leave boxing in a bad spot. Despite that, the fight is going ahead, and he hopes both fighters walk away safely to their families.
I do agree with Simon Jordan. It's
bad for the sport because let's play devil's advocate again. What if something bad happens in this fight? Where does that leave boxing? In the gutter. So from that perspective, the fight shouldn't be happening, but it's going to happen. And like I say, let's just hope both guys can go off to their families with their health intact.
Meanwhile, Chael Sonnen points out that boxing is a whole different challenge for Jake Paul. Unlike track and field, where you only compete against your personal best, in boxing, you're directly up against another person's skill, timing, and power. Jake's speed, footwork, and power may be there, but he's in a much tougher, more unforgiving environment where one mistake can cost the fight.
I can juxtapose those. I actually can see some timing. I actually can see some speed. I actually can see some footwork. I can see some power, and I can compare it. Now, Jake is in a wildly difficult spot. Boxing is unlike, by example, track and field. Track and field is all about personal records. You do not need to be faster than the guy standing next to you, right? Now you can win and you can get trophies on that, but it's not actually your goal that your coach is working on you with. You just today want to be faster, throw further, jump higher than a previous version of yourself.
He also adds that while Jake Paul will face a steep learning curve, every challenge he overcomes in the ring is a win in itself. It's not just about beating an opponent, it's about growing, gaining experience, and understanding the harsh realities of boxing.
It is straight, it doesn't matter how good you are. It is 100% comparative to how good is this guy. I understand that. But as human beings, we have to start somewhere. And I think there are many things that are going to be wins for Jake. I do not subscribe to the idea. Now he does. He will not agree with me, but an older version of himself, as he looks back, will see that Chael makes a very fair point.
Continuing, Chael says that for Jake Paul, just stepping into the ring and showing up is already a victory in itself. Unlike Anthony Joshua, whose goal is simply to dominate and win, Jake's journey is about learning, surviving, and proving he belongs at this level. Every round and every moment in the fight will teach him something, win or lose.
There's a number of things that are going to be wins or not for Jake. Now, Joshua's got one. Crush that man, get your hand raised. That's it. Well, I don't see it like that for Jake. I don't see it like that, and I know you guys don't either. I know you don't, because so many people that are predicting this fight won't even happen. Or that are predicting if this fight happens, these guys are going to be nice to each other. What does this word exhibition mean? Right? There's all these things where you're trying to take away, and you're not necessarily wrong. If Jake shows up for this fight, that's a win.
In the end, Chael says that while he can't yet compare Jake Paul directly to Anthony Joshua, he's never seen Jake look this sharp, faster, more precise, and more composed than ever before. Every aspect of his boxing has improved, and it's clear he's taking this challenge seriously.
It is so hard to hit a skilled boxer. It is so incredibly hard. I had 4 MMA fights the first time that I went into a boxing gym and sparred. And I'm telling you, just to get your hand to touch that guy that knows how to move in these kinds of ways is such a difficult thing to do. When I look at Jake, I don't have the ability until the fight to compare him and Joshua. That is the comparison. But I do have the ability to compare footage of Jake today versus footage of Jake from other days. I have never seen him look so good. And it's in every capacity.
Furthermore, Derek Chiroza said that even if Jake Paul gets hurt, he'll be fine financially. He predicts Anthony Joshua will dominate the fight, but Jake's set for life and could even afford a wheelchair if needed, implying money cushions him regardless of the outcome.
At least he can park his Bugatti on the handicap side now if he gets injured. Listen, Jake Paul be all right. AJ's gonna lay him out. You know, he's got enough money to be pushing a wheelchair for the rest of his life, so that's okay.
Derek added that this fight shouldn't drag on at all. Anthony Joshua needs to go in and finish Jake Paul decisively. He stressed that anything less than a quick, clean knockout would be a serious problem for boxing, and fans shouldn't have to endure rounds of unnecessary action. Still, he's confident that AJ has the power, skill, and experience to handle it and put Paul away without question.
If Anthony Joshua goes 8 rounds with that guy, I'll be pissed off. Do you understand? Yeah? AJ should not go 8 rounds with that guy. AJ should go in there and knock him out. Yeah? That is as simple as. If AJ try and go in there in 8 rounds, we got a problem in boxing. That is it. We don't want AJ to go in there and around. Yes, go there and lay him out. But knowing AJ's gonna knock him out.
He concluded, expressing that if the fight was to feel dragged than required, he might just turn it off.
If he goes past 3-4 rounds, we're turning off the Netflix.
Moreover, Shannon Biggs also talks about it, saying that the exposure from YouTube and social media has inspired a whole new generation of kids to take up boxing, amplifying the sport's reach and influence in ways that weren't possible before.
No, I didn't have a clue. I mean, well, you know, I did. I had a clue because I seen the impact that they could have on a bunch of kids, and I always told them, I said, you guys are going to have a lot more kids wanting to be boxers more than ever, and that's what happened now, thanks to YouTube and social media.
Shannon Briggs also adds that while he initially expected Logan to face Tyson and Jake to face Mayweather, the matchups ended up happening the other way around, showing how unpredictable and surprising the boxing world can be.
I thought it would be Logan, to be honest with you. I told Logan that he would fight Tyson one day, and I told Jake that he would fight Mayweather, but it happened the opposite way.
He says that he's unsure what will happen in the fight, but if it goes beyond the first round, he would be very surprised.
I don't think so, but I think in this fight, I don't know what's going to happen with this fight with Joshua. If it goes more than 1 round, I'm going to be quite surprised.
Lastly, Shannon says that this is pure entertainment, meant to be enjoyed. Fighters should focus on having fun and earning, knowing that even if things get rough, they're financially secure.
No, I mean, it's entertainment. It's Netflix entertainment. Have fun, make money, and if you put him in the hospital, he got enough money to pay the bills anyway.
In conclusion, Duke McKenzie also commented, saying that, on a personal level, he doesn't think the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fight should happen, citing serious health and safety concerns, especially after seeing a powerful fighter like Giant Apatia cause severe injuries in a recent bout.
On a personal level, I don't think that the Jake Paul-Anthony Joshua fight should be happening. That's just on my personal level. For health and safety reasons, you've just seen a fight with Giant Apatia just last weekend. Big punching guy. world champion, has just put somebody in hospital with a broken vertebra in his neck and other serious injuries.
He further added that while the fight is incredibly lucrative and makes commercial sense, from a health and safety standpoint, he hopes it doesn't go the distance. If Anthony Joshua lands a clean, serious punch, the damage could be severe. Ultimately, he just wants both fighters to walk away safe and able to return home to their families.
If Anthony Joshua goes into this fight with Jake Paul on a serious level and catches Jake Paul with a serious punch, he will do far more damage than that. So, from a health and safety perspective, I hope the fight doesn't happen. But from a commercial perspective, the fight has to happen because this fight generates money. And that's why anybody's in the sport of boxing, that's what they're in the sport for, to generate money. However, money's no good to you if you can't spend it. So, like I say, on a personal level, I wouldn't like to see this fight take place, but they tell me it is going to take place. So, I just hope Anthony Joshua gets him out of there quickly, and both the boys don't get hurt seriously enough where they can't go home to their family.
Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Anthony Joshua will dominate Jake Paul, or could Jake pull off a shocking upset? Fans are divided. Some expect AJ to make quick work of him, while others are curious to see how Jake's strategy plays out in the ring. Who do you think will come out on top? Let us know your take, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe to stay updated with all the latest boxing predictions, reactions, and fight breakdowns.